Yep, that's how you can unlock the Phantom Bow if you don't already have it. Walk up to the box on the new Operation Outbreak map, knife it, pick it up, and there you go, it's yours. So if you missed out on the final stand Phantom dog tag hunt and have been struggling to get it, you have a very easy way of doing so now. Also has new poison arrows as well. And I wanted to add, you can actually download this map for free if you didn't already know that. On Origin, PSN or Xbox Live, just go to the main Battlefield 4 section in the store and it will be there for you to get. And the best thing about it, it's a really good map, especially good for infantry combat around the middle village as well as the temple areas under the fountain, and vehicles have their place as well with various lanes around the map suitable for heavier vehicles. Talking of the temple, it really is the standout part of the map though. The waterfall and the ruins just looks awesome, and there's lots of cover on the map around this area as well. Potentially massive Easter eggs in here. The DICE developers have been hinting a few things that there's something to find in here. The obvious things are stuff like the control pad on the container here by A with the French sign next to it, and that actually translates to closed until 2142. Can it be opened? I'm not so sure, as a developer did mention on Reddit that it was unfinished and didn't make it into release. However, we got this tweet from Thite and JJJU pointing out an area of the map in the US deployment. As well as this, there are banana peels everywhere and also a Kevin Simpson surfboard under the US helicopter, which is a reference to a surfboard in the Apocalypse Now movie. Although the BF4 version of the surfboard has monkeys and banana skins on it, and it belongs to none other than Kevin Simpson, our old friend. Could be a clue, could be nothing. The gameplay that you're going to see now are the new crazy modes that have been added to BF4 CTE for the weekend. Would definitely recommend trying them out if you get a chance, because they aren't going to be around for long. I personally like them a lot, and I'd love to see Jeep and tank superiority make it into the vanilla game eventually. Lots of fun to be had there for sure. Now in this video, I'm going to cover the recent patch as it was humongous, but instead of boring you by reading through it all, I'll try to offer a concise version of the most important bits I think you'll care about, and also an updated look at the new Dragon Valley map in the second part of the video. Starting off with netcode, it's always a popular topic and there are lots of changes in that department. When the summer patch dropped, we had higher tick rate servers, but some issues did arise, but in this patch, the majority of the issues related to those have been fixed. You can even search for specific tick rate servers in the Battlelog server browser now too, which is awesome. Another change that we see coming across from the CTE is the hardline capture areas on the minimap. So when you're capturing a flag, it will actually show the cap radius on the minimap so you know exactly where you need to capture the flag from. We've had this in CTE for a while and of course in hardline, so it's cool to see this over in the BF4 vanilla game. As well as the outline, we also have the hardline elevation mechanic now on the minimap that better displays if a player is above or below you on the radar, and this is incredibly useful. Also, are you fed up of getting shot through smokes by everyone using IRNV? Well, it's a good day for you because smoke grenades will now block FLIR and IRNV scopes, so that means smokes can be used as a much more tactical option now, and you're not going to get players just throwing smokes down in front of them, standing in them and shooting out of them with IRNV, which is what was happening on a lot of the maps in the game, especially on rush game modes. And these scopes aren't completely useless now either. On maps like Operation Outbreak, Rogue Transmission, any map with lots of foliage and especially nighttime maps, they're still really good and super effective at spotting targets that otherwise would be pretty hard to see. There are also some important team play and objective updates. Are you a long distance sniper used to gaining points from all those marksman bonus headshots? Well, I'm afraid that that's no longer going to happen. No longer are you going to get marksman bonuses based on distance. It will now be a flat score of 25, but will still show you the distance of the kill. As well as that, in Conquest, a flag capture now gains you 400 points instead of 150, and a Conquest win ribbon has doubled in score from 1500 to 3000. A big increase for objective play across the board, and DICE are really trying to encourage players now to cap the flags and play the objective. Obliteration has had the same increases, so picking up the bomb will net you 150 score up from 100, and you gain 25 points per tick with a bomb now rather than 10. An obliteration win ribbon has also increased just like Conquest, but only to 2000 points. Lastly, Rush sees the MCOM disarm score increase to 500 from 400, and the same increase if an MCOM is destroyed. A Rush win ribbon has doubled, just like Conquest, from 1500 score to 3000. Play the objectives, guys, and you'll be rewarded. You'll also now have the squad replacement system from the CTE. If you request an order from your squad leader and he doesn't reply in 30 seconds, he will be removed as squad leader and you'll take his place. Give some orders out, make sure you're paying attention. Something else worth mentioning for support and recon players, it will have a big impact on how you play against vehicles. C4 has pretty much had a flat nerf across the board, with blast damage reduced, inner blast radius reduced, and also blast radius reduced. So you might find you're having a harder time taking out vehicles if you're not getting close enough to actually put the C4 on the vehicle. Those explosions where you might catch a tank driving away from you and get the kill, they aren't going to be as common anymore because the damage has been reduced. There are changes everywhere and way too many to mention. Air vehicles, ground vehicles, assault class, engineer class, they've all had tweaks and improvements. Put it this way, the person that put together the patch notes for this fall patch deserves a medal for just achieving an entire list. I'll leave the link in the description below though if you do want to check it out. It's like a nice PDF document, so if you fancy it, put your feet up, get yourself a hot chocolate or a beer and spend, I don't know, like 30 minutes or so going through them if you're really interested. Moving on now to Dragon Valley. It feels like a long time ago we first tested Dragon Valley on the Battlefield 4 CTE, but now it's back and has been updated and vastly improved since the last time we played it. I showed you the Team Deathmatch variant of Dragon Valley last week, which has been made into a replica of No Shot Canals, but this time we're looking at the Conquest Large variant and taking a look at how it plays and what's been changed since the last time we tested it. Let's get on to some notable changes before we talk about the actual gameplay of the map. Firstly, and something which you'll see a lot in the gameplay, is that the E flag has been moved slightly from the east end of the main island to higher up on a hill under the pagoda. This makes a big difference because it creates a sort of tug of war battle between this flag and the C flag, which is the main temple flag up on the hill. I'd constantly find myself ebbing and flowing between these two flags without even realising it, and it turns out that it's a really good system for infantry players. The temple flag at the top of the hill is mostly infantry, with the odd chopper flying over and causing a nuisance and dropping off enemy troops. Tanks and other heavy vehicles tend to stay around the sides of the map and fire up towards the hill, but because they can't actually get up to the temple flag, it mostly ends up being a nice team deathmatch area contested by infantry only. In fact, the temple flag is the king of the show in my opinion. It just looks brilliant and there's a lot of open space in the middle, but even still there's cover on the outside that you can move between, as well as lanes surrounding the flag for players to loop around, and you're even able to get on top of the temple roofs, which are accessed via tower ladders in each corner. They also make for pretty nice sniping spots. And this is worth remembering because sometimes you'll forget to check up there and you'll find a pesky enemy looking down at you. Choppers will drop players off above you as well, and with lots of players landing on the roofs, verticality is pretty important on this flag. The other surrounding flags then become more vehicle focused, giving you almost two elements to this map, and as we found out last time we played it, it's big, very big, easily the biggest map in Battlefield 4. On other areas of the map, the A and B flags have been swapped, and overall you'll notice the map is far more busy now with foliage and cover than it was the last time that we played it. Indestructible cover has been put down as well, so you'll have some more places to hide behind when needed, and overall there are a lot of smaller changes all over the map since the last version. Mostly though, you aren't going to really notice any massive changes to the other areas of the map because there hasn't really been any, and I guess that's a testament to how well received it was last time, and of course the fact that it's already a classic map that's tried and tested, so in terms of layouts the map is already in a pretty strong position. Now it's just a case of working the cover, foliage and bug fixing the map itself, as well as continuing to improve the vehicle spawns as well as the player spawns. You could easily argue that this is one of the best Conquest Large maps that Battlefield 4 will have, despite being a remake of an old one. And that's just because it really takes Battlefield back to the old days of sprawling maps with masses of open space and infantry battles going on in various pockets around the map. You'd have squads holding down sections of the map while the other squads do battle in what feels like miles away. It brings back some great memories of Battlefield 2. Once DICE are happy with this version of testing on the Conquest Large mode, the next mode to be tested will be Rush, and this is going to be an interesting one because Dragon Valley has never had Rush before because of course Battlefield 2 didn't have the Rush game mode, and apparently in BF4 in this map it's going to be called Rush Large, so this will be the first time it's been tested on this map. I personally think the temple area could prove to be a very good area for attacking on Rush at one point, and it would also be a massive waste if that area isn't used because it looks and plays so good. I'm pretty sure it will be, and it's clear that when we do test the Rush version of the map, it's easily going to be the biggest Rush map Battlefield has to offer. So there we have it guys, a small update on this map for you. As far as I know, it is going to be free for everyone to download when it's released, just like the community map project was, which is pretty cool. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.